Hi, everybody. Welcome to another day here on Castor'sCorner.com. I'm your host, Khalil. Happy to have you here for another toy of the day. Make sure to go to Castor'sCorner.com to get a full gallery of all these figures we're going to talk about today. And remember to follow us. We are at Castor's Corner on all social media. And don't forget to check out the podcast, the Cornercast podcast, up on Apple Podcasts. So today, what do we have for you? Well, we've talked about it before. I wait until I build up a few WWE figures, depending on who they are or what they kind of represent. Because there's not. I feel like there's less to talk about in a WWE figure, just from the standpoint of there's not a lot going on with it. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but they are just guys, right? So I got The Rock, and it looks really good. But when we think about Marvel Legends, there's designs. These feel a little simpler in it's coming out all wrong. I think the design is really well done. I think the way they've done the real scan heads, the way they've replicated the tattoos on the characters, the way they've made them look more like the people that we see on TV is amazing. But when we think about like Legends or Star Wars, there's accessories, there's a little bit of articulation. There's some standard parts here that come across a little bit more. Like when you look at Stone Cold and you look at Goldberg, you realize that a lot of the parts are shared because they're guys in bathing suits, basically. Very skilled athletes in bathing suits, but nonetheless. So it's a little harder to just do Goldberg by himself, talk about him just all alone. So I kind of saved these up a little bit so that we can talk a little bit about maybe why I got him, why I picked him up, why this group of characters happened for me in the collection. And I think that, I've talked about how WWE has impacted kind of like my childhood and the special place in my heart it holds for the connection it has with my dad. He loved wrestling. I think I've mentioned that he handed me over to Tito Santana once in a match, and I ended up in the ring, and I have no memory of it, but my dad and my mom don't let me forget it. And, growing up in Connecticut, WWE, WWF, the whole machine that is Vince McMahon and his family, looking at going to gymnasiums down, high school gyms down in Fairfield, watching matches with dad, seeing Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, and seeing all of these larger than life people do their craft was what stood out for me. I have to say that I got these guys, The Rock, Stone Cold, and Goldberg, because of the second revival of WWE in my life. After my dad died, I didn't watch wrestling at all. And then Brian, my best friend, also liked wrestling. And so we started watching it at his house. And we went to live events when they came to Connecticut. We got really good seats. And probably one of the best things I've ever seen in my life, or the most fun I ever had, was as a house show, which is the shows where they go to practice what's going to happen on Raw and SmackDown, where they do it close to the venue they're going to. And they did a house show up in Hartford. And Brian and I got really good seats, and we got to watch The Rock and Stone Cold sing to each other in the middle of the ring for a half an hour after the show ended. And so I didn't have a Stone Cold in my collection, and I'm always looking for the definitive Rock in my collection. And I really like the way this one looked with the tank top, the track pants. In college, I wore these track pants, or tried to wear these track pants, because it had such a big influence on me. And so, of course, Rock comes with a microphone. He's got the big smile. Stone Cold in his vest, ready to go. And so, of course, I'm going to get these two. And right around that time is when Goldberg happened to be part of the WWE, coming over from WCW. And Brian and I love the movie Ready to Rumble. Goldberg was a big part of that. So, of course, I picked up Goldberg. He was $19.99 at Target, and I had a coupon for $5 off. And so $15 for Goldberg. He comes with Extra hands, of course. I guess they're doing a Build-A-Figure. I have no idea what this part's for. He's going to go into a bin. Never going to look at it again. But so, yeah, Goldberg with the championship belt, Stone Cold in his typical vest and knee braces, which on the secondary market, a lot of people want those knee braces for various customs, and an updated Rock, which, couldn't ask for a better trio here. Now, these are all recent. These are all within the last 2 months or so. I still didn't get the Warrior. I have them on pre-order. This wave is available up on Amazon right now. So if you didn't catch it at Target, because really, who did? You can get him and the Warrior and the other figures from that wave. Over the summer, though, I lucked into a sale and got Ronda Rousey for half price. And I thought she was a good enough character to have, and she is one of the ultimates. So she comes with not one head, but a second head, which after switching these for photos, I will say the next joint is not happy with me at all. It's a little bit loose. I will say that. They did a really good job with her with the Roddy Piper look. She comes with wrestling attire. You can pop the arms off. Put on the kilt, as Roddy Piper would say. She put on that. She puts on the big leather jacket under her hair. She got the arms. And I remember messaging Steve on the WWE team at Mattel going, God, like this is just from a design standpoint, like this is one of the best figures that they've done. Just from the idea of like being able to switch costumes, ring attire, what they're going to walk down in, being able to swap it out, and one figure handles everything. I think that's some of the coolest stuff that they've ever done. The Ultimate Triple H, the Ultimate Hollywood Hulk Hogan, the upcoming Rock. I think those figures where you get what they look like coming down to the ring, all the things you can imagine them doing in the ring, all of that really just sets it apart from everything else. And so you've got two ponytail looks, one angry, one smiling, and then I'm going to risk it. I'm going to pop it one more time. And you've got I am really worried about this head joint. I will say that's this neck joint. It is not liking all the swapping. Yeah, it's going to sit a little bit high. So it is separating a little bit you can see that little crack there. So it's a thinner neck because it's a female figure. It's a thinner peg because again, it's a female figure. And these are not, they're not cold, right? They're not like out in my car, but they are not warmed up. So I probably would have to warm it up to get it back on there without snapping it. So we're just going to show you the long hair, happy face Ronda Rousey. So that's what I picked up recently. I've pre-ordered the Ultimate Warrior. I'm doing a custom job on Andre the Giant. I don't see him. He is. Oh, there he is. I am working on this custom because the Andre the Giant, and I'll show it to you guys. We'll do a retro kind of look at WWE. The Andre the Giant came with just normal body, no articulation, like very limited articulation, T-crotch, all that stuff. They came out with a Big Show, which had the same costume. Problem is the Big Show has tattoos. Andre the Giant does not. So I am working on giving Andre more articulation, but getting the tattoos off. So if anybody has any ideas besides acetone to help me get those off, that would be appreciated because after an hour working that with acetone, it's still not off. But so that's my newest project. So I will be doing that with Macho Man and probably the Ultimate Warrior when he comes in finally. So there you go. I would recommend these. These are great figures. And if you can find Ronda Rousey, the Ultimate Ronda Rousey, the Ultimate line is just fabulous all around. So, so that's about it. So we got a busy week coming up for you guys. We got more podcasts. We got new reviews. I got some new toys. You can see Snake Eyes in the background there. Somebody's playing basketball. Somebody got plowed over there. But we got some more stuff to talk about this week. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to go to castorscorner.com for close-ups of all these figures in about 5 minutes when I get this video embedded in there. Remember to follow us. We're at Castor's Corner. Remember, hit that subscribe button right down below. Should be right over here somewhere on the screen. We really appreciate all the support. Thank you guys for subscribing. And hopefully continue to bring you great content. And remember to listen to the Cornercast podcast on Apple Podcasts. New one tomorrow night with Jay Hernandez. We're really excited to have that one up there. And more coming next week. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you soon. See you tomorrow.